there's a race going on. Look. Oh, he got it way too late on the brakes. Locked the rears, and that was it.
Into the inside as Montoya's coming out of the pits, but just overcooked it big time into one.
It's a good thing that didn't happen during the pit stop cycle, because that would have changed the whole complexion of the race.
Hey guys, the 28 team, Ryan Hunter-Reay just radioed in and said it looked like he had a puncture or something, but it didn't come from me. And on the stand, Ray Gosselin said, yeah, it looks like there was something wrong with that left rear.
Something blew. You see that rear pod on the left. See that go there?
Yeah, suspension
right.
broke.
Oh,
yeah.
It broke.
Yeah, no.
Looks like the left rear completely failed. So no fault of Connor Daly's. That's just the worst of all kind of failures at terminal velocity.
Run well. Here's the problem. There it is, that left bank just. And then with the additional fluid that comes out on the hot exhausts.
Watch this here. The flame was really, really big here.
Will Power there behind him.
Was not. Moments later, similar issues for Charlie Kimball. His Novo Nordisk
compatible with the other rubber on the track.
And so as we're getting a look from the onboard camera at Connor Daly. Boy, he really attacked that curbing on the inside, didn't he?
So exactly what I thought. There's a big curb right there, and he just.
There's Rahal on the inside.
Oh, he got hit by Hunter-Reay, it looks like.
I think you're right, Paul. Rahal was clipped.
I think Rahal ran over Kimball's front wing, and that cut his tire down. When Kimball spun, he got his tire underneath the back tire.
But watch, Hunter-Reay gets Rahal here. Boom, right there.
Got a little bit. He got help from both sides. Was up, and you could see the pain in his eyes. He hits the curb, loses the wheel right out of his hand. The same thing that happened to Derek. Jerks the steering wheel right out of his hand, clobbers the wall, and as we saw the side.
Kimball on the inside, Montoya in the middle. A little bit of contact there with Ryan Hunter-Reay. Now he's on the outside.
That's his favorite guy. So they're banging wheels. I think he ended up with damage here, and then just.
So he goes in by himself. Oh, Jack's already there.
He went in to make a pass, and the car was already there, and he had no option. But he fades to the inside. He's looking in his mirrors. Dixon goes for the inside. The door is open, and you're not going to get two cars in there when you're on the curb like that.
I'm not sure the door was ever fully open either.
Well, it was cracked open, and he tried to kick it open, and there just wasn't enough room. He climbed the curb right on the braking zone here, and then it was done. You know, it's like we said in Toronto, you push that button, and the urgency to get that pass done is so high that he stuffed it in there, and that's a huge championship mistake right there.
Fast runoff. There's barely any time to slow down.
150-mile-an-hour corner in fifth gear, and he just dipped the wheel off on the entry and lost the rear, and you're along for the ride after that. So big mistake there. He'll be devastated by that. Just as we see Bourdais, he's got to run. Doesn't know which way to go. Do I go to the inside or go to the outside? He locks up. He just gets into the bumper of Sato, and they both go off. Gave him the chrome horn, and got himself beached in the sand.
And Bourdais.
V záběru Takumu Sata. Evidentní, že najednou ta záď vystřelila. Podívejme, ten černobílý monopost, to je Alexander Rossi, před ním ve stání. Tak. Tak tohle to bylo ještě daleko nebezpečnější, než to vypadalo. Viděli jste, jak monopost Alexandra Rossiho úplně přeletěl přes hlavu Elia Castroneve se tohleto mohlo dopadnout velice, velice špatně. Sami jste možná byli svědky podobného okamžiku, ke kterému došlo letos v Indianapolis, kdy také vypadá to, že možná se jenom monopost Simona Pagenaudta dostal, že se Simon dostal trochu na tu vnější stopu do místa, které už v těchto fázích závodu zpravidla je výrazně špinavější, než je ta spodní stopa. Podívejte se. No a jakmile se tam pilot dostane, tak je prostě hotovo, protože
hot slick track. It looks like it's Connor Daly, maybe? It does. No. That's the 19 of Gabby Chavez. Wow. Just about, I don't know if that was even the outlap for him.
He had done a couple laps, but it was...
And keep in mind that some guys might be doing qual sims early on and then go to race setup. Katie?
Townsend, I was just talking to Dale Coyne. Connor's Daly sitting here on pit lane. They let Gabby go out first to figure out the aero balance so he could give feedback to Connor, who hasn't been...
Touch. You see the rear touched in turn 3, and the car just went around. Tough to say if that was kicked off by the car bottoming or the aero balance being way too positive on the nose. Either way, that's an early spot to lose the car in a bad angle, and he's slow getting out.
Series, it will be down on the concourse, and there we see on Big Hoss TV the replay, and there's something blows in the 14 car of Takuma Sato, and then he's up into the fence off of turn 4, and that's why he has come to a stop. And you see the damage there to the right rear on the panel there, as well as the tire with all
Tires, just the new guard was on fresh rubber. The numerous cars, about 16, 17 of them that had already pitted, new guard was among them, and fresh tires, fresh rubber. 644 laps complete, 248 laps remaining, and your leader right now is third. We have a motion fourth, Will Powers fifth. Hitting those cars and yet hidden in this first round of stops that we had going on.
Oh, just like I said, the more you start fooling around and racing each other, that's what happens.
Carpenter and Dixon touch. Dixon is into the wall, and there's that Castroneves that came by and just clipped him.
I thought that might be Gabby Chavez that clipped Dixon. We'll have to see it again, but Scott... Oh, I don't know about that.
Yeah,
It looks to me like Dixon moved up.
It looked like Dixon, you're right, it looked like Dixon got into the back of Ed, so I'm in the wrong here. I think...
Wait a second, can we say that one more time?
I'm in the wrong here.
Does anybody
I
record
agree with you. I think Dixon moved up the lane and caught that back bumper.
That is Elio Castroneves. Robin?
Boys, Ed Carpenter said, what's he mad about? He ran into me.
Big crash. I told you. And who is that? It's Rossi? Is that Rossi?
No, that's Ed. That's Ed Carpenter.
Yep.
And that's Max Chilton from behind. Spun, trying to avoid. And Ed Carpenter's chance to win ends up in the fence.
What a tough year it's been for Ed Carpenter. It's good to see him get out under his own power there. And he's furious.
Yep. Rips the radio cord out. He's going to walk off. He's got
here. That's Graham Rahal on the low side. Castroneves coming up behind the Fuzzies.
Ed
green and gold car.
Yeah, he got loose, stepped up, and Castroneves
right rear went down.
Nowhere to go.
The right rear for Ed Carpenter, it looks like, went down.
And Elio took pretty good contact. Front and rear for Castroneves. That's on board Simon Pagenaud.
Yeah, it's wiggling.
And I wonder if the tire went down from the contact from Castroneves. But either way, Carpenter, look at the right rear, guys. It's already down there. I don't know that it would have been cut by Castroneves with the pod in the way. So.
Well, it was certainly wiggling for quite a ways. It was loose.
Hinchcliffe for the race lead, dealing with the lap car of Simon Pagenaud, and we have a yellow.
Oh, a lotion.
And Hawksworth.
Side and head on into the wall. It was a hard hit. Very similar to the crash that Connor had
with Newgarden, very similar, but luckily these guys walked away from this one.
Hawksworth was just an innocent bystander coming through at the end, and Chilton had to go through the grass to avoid him. Robin?
Our session did have one major incident that would ruin the day for Connor Daly. While testing the limits of the curbing, Daly would hit a patch of water on the racetrack, said today's action. There's plenty of more open-wheel racing action coming your way. Things wouldn't go according to plan, however, for Joseph Newgarden midway through the session. In an accident that he described as a personal error, Newgarden's car would slam the wall, ending his practice early. Running closely behind Carlos Munoz, Mikhail Aloshin would also find the wall in practice when he backs his Honda in, damaging the rear. Once a red flag would be brought out for an incident involving Takuma Sato, Sato would back his ABC Supply Honda into the turn.
Yeah, you can see the damage on the left rear tire, you know, it just exploded, and I had no chance to catch
Вы можете
the car.
видеть, что было. Шина просто взорвалась, и я уже ничего не мог сделать с рулем машины.
Was that we were coming to the pit stop.
Kimball, and I think there might have just been contact right there.
And the incident is under review because of that contact.
Wow, that was a big impact.
Didn't you just have a sense something was coming with all these fast guys wanting to get back through?
Well, there's an urgency here in turn one as we ride with Graham Rahal. He's going to duck to the inside here, try to outbrake.
See if they touch wheels on the exit here, because Kimball got on the curb.
Yep.
Oh, man.
Watch in real time here.
Yeah, it's a good thing there's tires there, because that would, with an Armco to car, that could have split the Armco open and really done a lot of damage to Charlie. But Charlie was committed, and Charlie is a guy that doesn't lift off. We've seen this. Once he's going, he's going to go, and they make contact.
Well, he had such a good run, Kimball did, going, that he had to commit to his move before they were out.
The first hour of the second practice session was smooth, but the final 15 minutes saw a pair of drivers with problems. First, Connor Daly's Honda would experience major injury. Joseph Newgarden's Chevrolet would slide off course at the top of the Turn 2 hill and bury itself into the tire barrier. Newgarden is one of 4 drivers within 24 points of grabbing third in the championship standings. Later in the session, while trying to jump back on the throttle out of turn number 11, James Hinchcliffe's Honda snapped towards the pit wall, making heavy contact. Both Newgarden and Hinchcliffe were okay, but their teams would have to make quick repairs for qualifying.